One, two, one, two, one, two, three, four. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Good afternoon, or morning, or evening, depending on where you're at on the earth. I am Bruce Leonard, of course. Thank you for tuning in to another hour of Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. Still legal today. We have measles at the highest rate in 30 years. Diarrhea in 9 states. We're in a war. The Houthis just opened up a new front in the war, if you didn't know that, in the Red Sea. Seems no end in sight here. We have the national debt is higher than the GDP. Are we great yet? Is this great? Oil's at $100 a barrel again. Is this great? Are we great yet? Is it golden? I was told it would be golden, Julia. It's like, doesn't feel golden, does it? People are being shot in the street. There's people locked up in questionable prisons all over this country. That no one seems to be talking about that. No one seems to care. There's still a blockade on Cuba. No one seems to care about that. It's not a war. It's just a skirmish, he says. A $1.5 trillion skirmish. That's like the most expensive skirmish in the history of mankind. They're asking for 3 times the normal military budget. And, we already spent a shitload of money on the military. They wanted to spend 3 times the amount. $1.5 trillion. That's right. Meanwhile, he's got $75 billion he hasn't even spent. They say he hasn't spent. Now, I don't believe that, personally. It's like, if everyone spent it, then where's the fucking money? I wanted to play this for you the other day, but I forgot. I don't know where they found this guy, John Ossoff. But if the Democratic Party was filled with guys like this, they might get something done. No, I will admit, the guy's a little scary. He's a serious dude. Like, he doesn't... Julia says, now they're trying to prep people for being summarily executed in the street if we happen to encounter LEOs while concealed carry, right? Well, they definitely killed some people. They don't seem to care about it. Like, no charges have been filed in the Peretti thing or Renee Good. And in the meantime, they shot these other guys. Remember, they tried to say that older man who has the 2 sons that they shot in Houston, then they tried to say he had meth in his van. But that story went away real fast. You notice that? See, they just lie, put stuff out in the press because once it's out there, it's out there. And then, of course, all the fucking mega people, and then they send the army of bots out to say, that the man was a meth dealer or whatever. And then it just goes away. But now it's on the internet and people believe it, Blue Pauses had to pause the Biden Fuentes interview for this. It's a funny interview so far. I told you, they said that they got along good until the end. Something happens at the end. Now, and I said before, whether or not that's real or just a ploy to get clicks and likes and create story about the podcast so people will watch. I mean, you got to remember at all times that this is a business. I mean, not for people like me, of course. I'm not making fucking money doing this, but I'm saying the people who are, it's a business, and it's just like a television show. So you can't take everything that you see, 100%. Like this is authentic, It's like anyway, I wanted to play this some of this clip of John Ossoff talking to Pete Hegseth at the hearing the other day.
Senator Ossoff.
Because it's interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And
Thank you all for your testimony. And General Kane, let me just begin.
I said,
by
this
expressing on behalf
Ossoff
of
is,
all Georgians
he's a
our
cold-blooded killer.
immense gratitude and admiration for the service members who are making tremendous sacrifices and conducting themselves with extraordinary selflessness and professionalism on behalf of the United States and our states.
Like I said, if the
Unified
Democratic Party was filled with
condolences
guys
and
like
grief
this,
for the families of
it would
the
be a
4
different
killed in action,
party.
and our hope for a swift recovery for the nearly 100 wounded over the last 2 weeks. And thank you to you for your service to the nation. Mr. Hegseth,
Here we go.
you're requesting roughly $68 billion for the department through this supplemental, correct?
67, yes.
And yesterday,
Pete
your
Hegseth
department
is
stated
such a
publicly, quote, U.S. forces struck Iranian military command centers, maritime capabilities, missile and drone launch sites, and air defense systems to degrade Iran's ability to continue attacking commercial vessels. That was a press release from your department. Is that a broadly accurate characterization of ongoing operations?
That sounds broadly accurate, yes.
On day 14 of this
Broadly
conflict, Mr.
accurate.
Secretary, day 14, nearly 5 months ago,
Here we go.
you stated that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. That was on day 14 of the war. Was that an accurate statement?
That's the first time we won the war. Day
They
14.
didn't have a navy any longer. It's completely sunk. Their missiles were buried underneath a lot of their underground facilities, and their defense industrial base has been almost completely destroyed. So as far as a military assessment of Iran's capabilities, it didn't mean by any stretch of the imagination absolute zero, but their
Mr.
capabilities are
Secretary,
at the lowest level
you
they've been in a
stated
very
that
long time.
on day 14 of this conflict, in the second week of the conflict, you stated that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. Was that an accurate statement?
Combat ineffective.
Iran's ability to challenge the United States of America at the level at which we're capable of.
That's not what I asked you, Mr. Secretary. You said on day 14, Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. Yes or no? Was that an accurate statement?
What the American military has
Will you
done
answer
to
the
the
question?
Iranian military is a historic military
Will you
defeat,
answer the
and
question
they're ineffective
under oath?
in that context.
3 weeks later, you declared victory.
Yes.
That was now nearly 4 months ago.
Actually, 37 times declared victory.
Combat ineffective. You said, quote, Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory. You said Iran's military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. And you stated we had, quote, achieved every single objective. Were those accurate statements?
It certainly was, on behalf of the men and women in uniform, a historic military victory over Iran.
Had Iran's military been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come? That was a statement that you made 4 months ago.
They had 160 naval vessels.
You need to
in the
answer the
Blue Water
questions,
Navy,
Mr.
and they're gone.
Secretary.
Their
You said-
Air Force
They don't have any
is
answers, Ken.
combat ineffective,
You
and
said
they don't
4
have a
months
defense
ago.
industrial
They're
base.
full of shit.
Mr.
Describe to me a
Secretary.
country that doesn't have an Air Force, a Navy, or a defense industrial base, and
Mr.
I will describe to
Secretary.
you a country that does not have an effective
Mr. Secretary,
military.
you
It
stated-
can lob missiles. got
Mr.
it.
Secretary, you stated
missiles,
4
but it's
months
not a
ago
combat-effective
that Iran's
military.
military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. Has Iran's military been, for the last 4 months, combat ineffective?
It's been set back not just years, but likely decades.
You
considering
stated we
it
had,
can't
quote,
build at the level it did
stated-
before, and not
you
even
stated
close.
we
It
had,
doesn't mean
quote,
it doesn't have capabilities.
Mr. Secretary, you stated we had, quote, achieved every single objective. Was that an
Every
accurate
single one.
The main objective of this was to ensure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon.
Here
Their
comes it.
main sites were obliterated. We're watching over them, and we're holding that issue. If they don't give them up at the table, there's other ways we can take them
Early
away.
in the conflict
Iran will
on
never
day
have a
3,
nuclear
Mr.
weapon.
Secretary, early in the conflict, day 3, you said one of those core objectives was to, quote, destroy the missile threat. And as you restated on day 5, to, quote, obliterate Iran's missiles and drones. Those were clearly and repeatedly stated core objectives of the campaign, which 4 months ago you declared had been completed victoriously with every single objective achieved.
Every single
Were those
objective.
objectives achieved 4 months ago?
No one ever stated that every single missile was gone. Ultimately, combat ineffective means they're not able to dig them out of their UGFs and shoot
Had
at
the
us.
missile
It
threat
doesn't mean they
been
don't have
defeated
underground
4 months
facilities
ago?
where they put missiles in them and hold on to them because they're the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism. So we never expected they would stop having capabilities to shoot. The question is at scale against an opponent like the United States of America, which went toe-to-toe with them and Iran couldn't.
You stated on March 8th, day 9 of the war, on 60 Minutes, you assured the American people of
These
Iran
guys don't get it.
surrender. Does that remain your prediction?
Ultimately, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon to
There it
threaten
is.
the United
Never
States.
have a nuclear weapon.
It's been the objective, and it remains so.
So just to review, you will not answer whether your statement made on the 14th day of the war that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and made combat ineffective was a truthful statement to the American people as you sit here and ask for tens of billions more
The
for the conflict.
senator's time has
Had a
expired.
historic and effective military campaign against the largest state sponsor of terrorism.
Won't
and
answer
will
the
ensure they
question.
never
Senator
get a nuclear
Peters.
weapon, Senator.
Is recognized.
About the destruction of missiles, and yet the missiles that we saw hit recent targets are actually somehow more lethal, more deadly, more maneuverable than what we have seen in the past. So they're obviously improving their munitions. The Strait
Remember,
of Hormuz,
they're about to
is,
declare
still
victory
closed.
again.
Reminding everybody, it was open before the war.
38 times
Prices
we've
were lower for everybody.
been victorious.
And it still remains closed. And of course, tragically, people, service members, our warfighters, who we care deeply about,
When
still
when
dying.
did they start that? I
So
hate
what's
this
the-
warfighter thing. Like, what the fuck is that? The warfighters.
I think
It's
the
like-
characterization of this incredible effort as a failure is reckless. And I think it's irresponsible. And I think it smears the sacrifice of the troops that are out there making on behalf of the American people to ensure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. Shame on you and others who call this a quagmire and a failure, and then you want to turn around and say you support the warfighter. Either you do or you don't.
Is the
I can
nuclear
get you a
material
ticket-
still there,
I
sir?
can get you a ticket out to CENTCOM and talk to what those Americans are doing, and how committed they are to this effort, and how they want to ensure that Iran never threatens their families with a nuclear weapon. That's the kind of intensity.
This is
that
the
our
same shit they
warfighters
said
have about making
in
sure
Iraq.
Iran isn't capable of doing
It's the exact same shit.
You listen to my comments. You have heard me say how amazing our warfighters
I
are.
heard
Stan Turco says the only thing that Trump obliterated is his diapers. That is correct. It's just the goal of these fucking people. And they want $1.5 trillion for the military. The fuck's that money coming from? Blue Policy is what an idiot. I don't think anyone's blaming the soldiers. Yeah, exactly. But that's their standard fallback bullshit lines. So, like I said, the Republicans, they don't have the modern right, the Trumper, they don't have any real ideas about anything. They're just blundering their way through all this shit. And when they can't answer questions, all they do is fucking attack. That's all they know how to do. They're trying to fucking go after Jack Smith again. You see this? Jim Jordan sends a criminal referral to to the Department of Justice because Jack Smith scooped up all these text messages during his. It wasn't even text messages. It was just time of texts, etc., not the contents of the texts. And Raskin wrote this thing that says, Republicans just sent a laughably weak and vindictive criminal referral of Jack Smith, the former special counsel who prosecuted Trump's crimes, to the DOJ. This referral deliberately distorts and misstates the facts, which is what they always fucking do, including what questions the Republicans actually asked at a Mr. Smith's interview. The Republicans fault Mr. Smith for not reading the minds of congressional investigators and for not volunteering information that they didn't ask for. This is absurd. Mr. Smith may be telegenic, but he's not telepathic. This referral, if ever brought before a judge, will get laughed out of court. But success on the merits is not the goal. It is meant to harass Jack Smith It's meant to please their Fox News viewership. It's meant to whitewash their own participation in the scheme to overthrow our elections. And above all, it's meant to create a distraction so Republicans on the Senate Judiciary can feel just a little more comfortable confirming the architect of the Epstein cover-up and lawless Trump slush fund and super pardon Todd Blanche to the Attorney General. We will not fall for this ludicrous distraction. Neither will the American people. Hey, catchy electronic music, you're back. What do you think about it now? You think I'm so wrong now, huh? The war is back up. I said the gas is back up. The Houthis have joined the fight. It's not a good situation. Trump's sided nuclear deals with the Saudis. How you feel about that? Boo Paul says, can you tell me a joke? I've had two 10-hour shifts the last 2 days and I need a laugh. I don't know. I'm thinking of one. It's hard for me when I'm not doing stand up. Dude, somebody says, "Tell me a joke." You know, it's like I gotta think of one. Remember the Titan submersible? I always say, remember the Titan submersible, and everybody's making fun of him. And people used to come on the internet, you know, and they'd yell at you. They'd be like, "You shouldn't be making fun of these people. You know, you shouldn't make fun of these billionaires. It's terrible. It's horrible. You're a terrible human being." You know, I'm like, you're probably right. I probably am. You know, whatever. Like, but really, we shouldn't make fun of these billionaires. You know, they shouldn't. It's terrible, right? Because you have no idea the kind of pressure these people are under. You could not fathom the pressure that these people face every day now. Ken Catman says telepathic really, face blue smiling. See, what does that mean? But people put that on. That other guy was saying that the other day. It was like, it kept saying like orange face smiling. Catchy says, say something nice about America. All right, Blue Apollo, you did laugh. When I lived in Las Vegas, there was a drought, right? And if you know anything about Las Vegas, the history of Las Vegas, you know, then it's pretty self-explanatory what's going to happen. But there was a drought, and the water started going down Lake Mead, right? They started finding these dead bodies in the lake. What's up, Demon? You know, dudes in barrels and shit. And the sheriff came on TV, I swear, he had a press conference, and he says to the public, he says, I'm pretty sure if the water level keeps going down, that we're going to find more human remains. And I was like, damn, that's the most Las Vegas shit that's anyone's ever said. That's like, you go, this water tastes funny. It's like, it's vintage, 1960s mafia. And people started getting stupid, of course, you know, and they're like, is it safe to go to Lake Mead? You know, is it safe to go there? It's like, yes. These people were killed a long time ago. It's perfectly safe to go to Lake Mead, right? Unless you have a gambling debt of $10,000 or more. You don't take the Guido fucking boat tour. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's rules when you go to Las Vegas. It's like, it's just the way it is. What's up, Diamond? Thanks for tuning in. It's hard to say something good about America right now, Catchy, because Sandberg said it's hard. I mean, it's hard to say anything good about the world right now. Look at the fucking world. It is on fire. Blue Paul says, I've swum in dead people water for sure. Well, you have, if you've been there. Anybody that didn't think that there's probably hundreds of bodies in that lake. Vegas was built by the mob. And there's bodies all over the fucking place in that city. There's probably bodies in the concrete pillars and that's like, you're right, Stan Durko. America is crumbling. It's collapsing under the weight of its own collective stupidity. The only thing is it's like if it was like a dinosaur dying, it's like a brontosaurus or one of the biggest ones. You know, when it falls down, it's going to hurt a lot of other shit because it's big. You know, and you know sometimes you wonder, you know, is it too big to fail? You know, I mean, they just keep running up the debt. Like I said, the debt is, I don't even remember how much it is. It's astounding. It's bigger than the GDP. Let's look at the U.S. national debt right now. It is $39.6 trillion. We are in debt. If you had a credit card, your dad would take it away. Blue Pauses are most of my viewers Democrats. I don't know. The loyal people like Julia, Ken, and these people, yes. Jimmy, obviously. But the people who just come here, no. Most of the time, the people that come here aren't or left wing people or Democrats. They just pop in here like you. And some of y'all stay, and some of you come in and out. You know, like that guy Cool J that was here the other day. He's been here a couple times. Because when I told him to subscribe, he was like, "I already subscribed this. I popped in here once." I guess he can only take me in small doses, like most people. Julia says, "I could say something good about America. All the amazing people I love dearly are here in our country, but that's about all I can say off the cuff." Right. That's what I was getting ready to say, is that the people are still pretty cool, except for the fact that it's more and more I can't stop thinking, well, you know, you think these people are cool, but they're fucking responsible for this shit, and they're allowing it to happen. You know. It's pretty fucking sad, really. You want to fucking freak yourself out? Go to True Social. And just scroll down the insane meanderings of the mind of the President of the United States. Who makes policies, announcements on his True Social with no fucking, there's no meetings. There's no meeting of the minds, you know, to talk about is he going to do this? What's he going to do? If he does do this, what's going to happen? No, he's just manically tweeting all through the night. And then people have to react to whatever he's saying. Like this. Check this out. This is just today. Blue Apollo says, "I like Stewart as much as boomers make me mad. There's something I love about the irrational beliefs they have." It's like looking through a window into the past. What's weird is that Stewart is like my age. So it's like, Stewart's a diehard. Like I said, he grew up watching the Fox News. Like, he's fully brainwashed into that mentality. You know what I mean? Like, and there ain't no shaking him out of it. You ever watch Fox News? And Trump does shit that's crazy and really bad, right? And even they'll waver for a second and be like, "Oh," you know, just like the Congress people. It's like there's some kind of hold or spell that he has over this whole sphere, you know, and like even when they're almost break out, then they come back. Stan Durko says, "I had family who are mega. I no longer speak to them." Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're for people getting shot in the street and rounded up, put in concentration camps, you know what I mean? I really can't get down with you. It's like, because no matter how nice you are in person, you're a fucking soulless fucking shitbag. Motion says, "Why is stupid Trump always in the news?" Exactly. Here's his True Social from today. Apparently, you know, he's beefing with Canada about the wildfire smoke now. So he put smoke tariffs on them. And then they had this bridge. It was supposed to already be open, but because of Canada and the United States were beefing, Trump wouldn't open up the United States side until they paid tariffs or something. I don't know what the fuck is. Anyway, so they finally made a deal, and they were going to open this bridge and have a ceremony where Trump and Carney would shake hands in the middle of the bridge, I guess. But then Canada said, after he put the smoke tariffs on him, Canada said, well, fuck you then. We're not doing the bridge cutting handshake. We'll do a bridge cutting on our side without you. Fuck off, basically. And so Trump runs to the True Social. He's like, Canada is inviting the United States of America to the opening of the Gordon Howe Bridge, which is fine, considering that they're paying substantial tariffs to the United States. But the original deal on the bridge, which was terribly negotiated by the previous administration, no longer stands. We changed the terms of the deal. And now the United States of America gets 50% of the profits. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Now that goes right back to what I said about the Iran war or anything that Trump is doing. Why would you make a deal with someone who could just have a temper tantrum and throw the deal into the trash can at any time? So if you're Iran or anybody else, why would you believe anything that this motherfucker says? You wouldn't. And that's why ain't nothing ever going to get done. No matter how much he claims he's art of the deal, fucking master negotiator or whatever. Like, dude, no. At this point, nobody believes a fucking word he says. Blue Pile says, except for his diehard, I said followers are 30 fucking %. And like I said the other day, he's a fucking loser. And they're fucking losers too. They're even more losers because they allow themselves to be pissed on and lied to on a daily basis by this fucking guy. And that they still grovel and pretend that he's the best thing that ever walked the earth. Blue Power says, most of my family are moderate Republicans and the other majority is very left-leaning. I'm literally the black sheep. No one ever agrees with me. Standoka says Trump and truth is a joke. Yes, exactly. He never tells the truth. I said he lies so much that even when he's telling the truth, you can't believe it. I've said it many times. If there was someone in your family who lied like this, you would kick him out of the family. You would stop inviting him to the family functions. You would stop. Blue Power says, if you read The Art of the Deal, it's all bully tactics. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I said that before. Like, that's all he knows how to do. And he bullies somebody. And when they don't do what he says, then he eventually just comes back around and gives them whatever they wanted in the first place. Also, he didn't write The Art of the Deal. That is fake, too. Everything about Trump is fake. You know that, right? That's some dark shit, Booney. I don't know if I should read that. I will admit, though, it makes you chuckle. If you like dark humor. And that might be a little too dark for most people. And speaking of this, how come the mega people, right, who've been bitching about the Epstein files all these years, right, but yet they don't care that Trump has been in them thousands and thousands of times, right? But then, hey, Laura, you can make it. Look, she says I'm looking yummy. Anyway, now they're defending the Tate brothers. What the fuck is going on with... I don't understand this situation. You can't be like, oh, the FC files, this and that and the other. Believe the women. Except for those women. And apparently, he's got some kind of images. I'm glad you're here, Laura. Julia, and you're leaving? Well, goodbye. Julia says, The Art of the Deal is just a retelling of Roy Cohen's mentorship put to print. Yeah, exactly. And Roy Cohen's playbook. If you want to go, if you want to trace all this back to the very beginning, like when did this tumor start growing? Like Roy Cohen is the one. All this is from Roy Cohen. He went from mob lawyer to Trump lawyer, and then Trump went into politics and used that mob lawyer technique to fucking get away with everything and get himself elected president. Twice. I said before, and I've said it many times, and I say it in my show, is like I said, Trump isn't the president we want or need. He's the president that we fucking deserve. Like, if we're this fucking stupid, this is what happens. Blue Pile says if Trump was smart at all, he would support him. Shows how much he doesn't care about his base. Even Biden did more for his people on his way out than Trump has done for his whole base. But what do you mean? I told you that before. He's in the middle of Epstein cover-up. He's trying to get Todd Blanche, who orchestrated that cover-up, and is orchestrating it now, even, to be confirmed for the Attorney General of the United States. He can't be seen to be getting these sex offenders off the hook right now. I told you that before. It's a matter of timing. If this wasn't going on now, right now, it was a bad timing. The Brits probably knew that. They're like, we got to get him now, or else once Todd Blanche becomes Attorney General, they'll protect him and keep him in the United States. And I forgot to tell you this, Blue Pile, but I looked into it a little bit. Those Romanian charges aren't gone. They didn't dismiss those charges. They just released a travel restriction that they had on them. So they still got to go to trial in Romania and now in the UK as well. Stan Durko says Trump is killing Americans and mega cheer. Yes. Yes. They do. That's what I mean about like it's harder and harder to not be like fuck you to all these people. You know, it's like you're soulless shitbags and you're selling out our freedom. The more that you empower this authoritarian, this government with authoritarian tendencies, the more it's going to be harder to reel it back. Blue Pile says yes, but he still has never been charged with anything, and the current UK charges are from 10 years ago. Yeah, well, they said he had some kind of images. If they got images. Yeah, but Blue Pile, look at all the fucking criminals that walk around. Look how long these trials take for people to get convicted of some shit. No, that's what I've just said, Blue Pile. They've been charged. No, because there hasn't been a trial. That's what I'm saying. There has to be a trial. There hasn't been one. And like I said, these guys with money and lawyers, they can fucking drag this out for years. Look how long it took E. Jean Carroll to get that money. Now Trump's trying to get back that money. Did you see that? Trump's trying to get back the $5 million that they gave to E. Jean Carroll. See, I don't believe that's true, Blue Apollo. That chick was on with Elon Musk. Did you see that? She's like the editor of The Economist or something, and she interviewed Elon Musk, and she had all the statistics. Hey, you guys are full of shit. We can talk about that. It's not that bad, as you say. She says statistically, London is safer than any city in the United States. Like I said, the internet creates these fucking bubble stories that aren't. They just take something and blow it out of proportion, and they go, "Look, this is going on everywhere." And people like Stewart and you go, "Oh, it must be." It's like. I did not. I will admit. I looked into it some, though. I did read some news stories and things like that. But I didn't read the actual report. I will, though. And like I said, have you ever read, like, the Warren Jeffs report? You know, it's the same kind of shit that's going on here. It's like... And that doesn't mean that, like I said, something like that goes on. Yeah, it's horrible. It's terrible. But it doesn't mean that it's going on all over the goddamn place. You know, it's like it's a heinous case. It's like Dennis Nielsen killed a bunch of people and put them under the floorboard. That doesn't mean everybody is. It's like... Blue Pop says maybe they'll crack down on gangs. Yeah, well, I mean, everybody... We got gangs here. You crack down on them. They tried that. How'd that work out for you? Like the Crips and Bloods gone? I don't think so. You know, we got that's what I mean about Americans. It's so fucking hypocritical to be like, you got a gang problem. It's like, oh yeah, and we don't. Have you ever been to South Central Los Angeles or any of these kind of places? It's like go to the Fifth Ward in Houston, or you know, like go to Miami-Dade County in Florida. You know, there's fucking gangs all over the place. You're like, man, I need to get their shit together. It's like, Mupaz says it's not that it's going on, but it's that there's active cover up in the inquiries around 200,000 victims, no investigation from the UK governments. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if you watch those serial killer documentaries. The UK police they're not too good. It's like they're just like us. It's like I said, like a lot of times, like I said, if we were watching why they couldn't catch the Yorkshire Ripper because he killed prostitutes, and they're like, they're just prostitutes. So instead of really going after the guy, trying to find him, they spent their time like just going, well, you know, she lives in a dangerous profession, and it's the same as Dennis Nielsen. He was killing gay kids for the gay districts, and these runaway kids would go to the gay district and just disappear, you know. And they're like, well, he's gay, you know. So I've gathered from watching these documentaries is that the UK police aren't very good. It's like, I hope Interpol is better than this, you know. It's like, because their local police and detectives didn't seem like they knew what was going on too much. Stan Durko says Trump and MAGA are a terrorist organization. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. No, like, I mean, if you want to call it terrorist, I guess. Well, I mean, what's the difference except they're in power, you know? Blue Pop says, yeah, the inquiry, basically all the police showed it off as the little girls being prostitutes. No, that's what I'm saying. If you watch like I said, if you watch that documentary about the Yorkshire Ripper, they do the same shit. For years, they just go, well, it's prostitutes, and, you know, it's dangerous. It's like, as long as he didn't kill, then what happened was he killed a real person. And I don't mean that like I think that prostitutes aren't real people, but I'm saying as far as the system goes, he killed a girl who wasn't a prostitute, and that kicked him into gear, and that's when they were like, oh, he'll kill girls that aren't even prostitutes. That's when we better catch him. It's almost like they don't care if they kill prostitutes because it gets some of them off the street. Stan Durko says Trump kidnapped the leader of Venezuela. Yes, and we've never seen him again, right? I find that odd, too. No one's even talking about that. Somewhere he's sitting in the cell, but I said, where's his right to speedy trial and all that shit? What are they even charging him with? Like, I think it was like some kind of trumped up bullshit drug charge, but you think they got fucking evidence and shit? I mean, they just went in the middle of the night, put him in a black bag, and drug him off. Like he was Adolf Eichmann or some shit. It's like Ken says there's another correspondence dinner or something's going to happen. No, I thought that thing the other day was weird. Where the guy threw some gas on the ground and then set it on fire, and he had fireworks and like airsoft rifles. You're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? And they're like, oh, it's a heinous terrorist attack. It's like the guy has some airsoft rifles. Well, you might shoot you in the eye. You could go blind. You know, it's like there's something fishy about that to me. But see, that's the thing is they've created this environment where everything is fishy. You can't believe anything. They lie about every single thing. No, they were lying. They lied about how many people have been killed in this war. They took names off. Did you see that? I'm going to find that. The Pentagon removed the names of 4 service members who died in Jordan from their official list of casualties. They explained that this is because their deaths occurred after President Trump declared a ceasefire in the war in April. What the fuck? The fuck is that? That's what I mean. It's all about their way to trying to skirt around the law. The war hasn't ever been approved by Congress. After 90 days, he's got to get the approval of Congress. So what you do is it's the 88th or 89th day, he called a ceasefire, and then that lasted for 2 days, and then they went back to war. There's a memorandum of understanding that lasted, about a week. They went back to war, And he's saying, oh, it's not a war, or it's day one again. It's not a war, it's a skirmish, but I need $1.5 trillion. You didn't get to the part at the end where Pete Hegseth says that the guy has Trump derangement syndrome. Yes, Julia. Says one thing to cook financial books is something completely different to cook the casualty numbers. People are going to start noticing very quickly who isn't coming home alive. Right. And those bodies got to come home. They don't get dignified transfers because they're trying to keep it a fucking secret. I mean, are you kidding me? And I read this thing before I came down here. I don't know if it's true, but it said that they were rushing a bunch of medical personnel in the military to bases in Germany and shit. And which means, it's a sign that maybe something's about to happen and trying to take Carg Island or some shit, but I'm telling you right now, and I've been telling you, is if the boot steps on the ground in Iran, a bunch of people are going to die. The war is going to get real right then. And once you go in, you're in. There's no way you could just go in and then they have a big battle for Carg Island or whatever, and a bunch of people get killed. And then he just go back out. Like, there's no fucking way. Once you go in, you're in. I can't believe that we're still allowing this bumblefuck idiot to fucking bumblefuck us into this deeper and deeper and deeper, and that the Congress is not going to get a spine. And that's what I mean is I think that the country is doomed. Like Stan Durko said, America is crumbling and it's falling. It's going to fall because if you cared about this country, you would 25th Amendment this dude and get him out of office. I mean, because I don't know if the country could stand another year and a half of this. And then at the end of the year and a half, he might try to stay in power. He's that crazy. And the people that are around him are such pathetic nutlickers that they're all so terrified of him. I've never seen anything like it. Now they want to, do you see that he wants to put, change the name of Penn Station to Trump. He wants his name on everything. Julia says, yeah, Germany is one of the places they got to be medically treated from injuries in the Middle East. No, that's what I'm saying. Raping up, mass units there in Germany for Stan Durko says Trump is building a bunker just like Adolf. That's what some people say and think. But I don't know. And what do you think is to happen? I said, do you think that American people just lay down and take something like that? At this point, I'm not sure. They might. So I said before, like, all that shit about Americans being such badass freedom lovers is bullshit. It's a myth. This country's filled with a lot of pathetic bootlickers who want a dear leader, Seems like fascism doesn't bother them. I mean, Trump is going around cooking up cases against people for crimes that didn't even happen, like the pool guy. That's a felony charge. That should terrify every single person, right or left. I've said that 100 times. When the government can just make up charges, arrest you on trumped up shit. Felony charges. The guy's facing 10 years in prison for something that didn't happen. There's cameras all over that pool. If he cut that pool or he did something, they'd have it on film. They would have already showed it on TV. He didn't do that. That's what I'm saying, Ken. It's just like impeachment. They'll never. It's already been proven. They'll never impeach a president. I mean, the opposition party will impeach a president, but they'll never convict him. And Nixon should have stayed in office because he would have. I believe that he wouldn't have got convicted and impeached. Although maybe they told him that he would. Nixon obviously didn't have whatever Trump has on these people because Trump has a hold on these people. Like I said, the Congress is willingly giving up their constitutional powers. I've never seen anything like it. They're so scared of him, they won't even say that he did something bad. All these real MAGA people, they're like, oh, no, everything's great. This woman last night, when they were talking about all these stock trades that he's made and all the money he's made. And this woman, I swear to God, this woman looks dead face into a camera and goes, well, he's a businessman. If it's legal, he should be allowed to do it. Julia says, did you see Ansari told Comer to open an inquiry regarding Barron and his communication with Andrew Tate? It's no problem to investigate Hunter Biden, but Comer is going to look into Barron. Right. Barron's 20 years old, too. I think Barron should be joining the military, don't you think? He's right military age. What's he got, bone spurs, too? I mean, if Trump wants a war so bad, well, why don't he send his kid? And they never send their kids. That's like that System of a Down song. That's like... I said the poor. Sandoka says they're making millions. Billions, bro. Not millions. Billions. Billions. All off of inside deals that we're making with these countries because their dad's the president and backed by government contracts, your taxpayer money. Like, for instance, that mining operation that they set up for tungsten mining in Kazakhstan. $1.5 billion government contract to a firm that Don Jr. is heavily invested in. And Eric, I think, both of them. Backed by, they said, taxpayer money. They were saying today, I don't know if you saw this, but he put the tariffs back on. Now he's using, this is hilarious. He's using the actual Smoot-Hawley tariff authority. Remember when he said he didn't want to be Herbert Hoover? He's using Herbert Hoover's Tariff Act, I swear to God. The Smoot-Hawley Act, which is widely regarded to have, made the Great Depression way worse and last way longer than it needed to. And anyway, so he put the tariffs back on. This is just like yesterday, day before. So tariffs are back on. So the price is going to go up. And again, Canada is like, well, fuck it. We're just going to start looking for other shit to do. Stan says they put Martha Stewart in jail for less. I know. Exactly. Exactly. What Trump is, I mean, like I said, it's amazing that it's legal, first of all. And even if it isn't legal, even if it is legal, it's definitely shady as fuck and shouldn't be legal. And the Congress should be looking into it. But they're not doing anything. They're not asking any questions. They're not doing shit. That's why I keep saying it's like the Democrats got to take over the House and the Senate, or at least one of the Congresses. Hopefully they could get both, but I'm saying the only way to get out of this is to not vote for Republicans. Because at this point, there aren't any Republicans who aren't groveling nutlickers. There's not like any John McCain's out there or, whatever. That's like... And even the couple like Bukowski or whoever who are in there, like, they're constantly trying to get rid of them. And they will eventually. All these fucking people. J.D. Vance is supposed to be negotiating the war with Iran. He's on the Joe Rogan podcast, Julia said that's because most of the Congress is making bank also. Right? Did you see that thing where he says if you pay Trump $100,000, you'll get access to his True Socials like 5 seconds before they go public? Which means what? That you could have insider information 5 seconds before anybody else of when to trade your stocks, based upon whatever bullshit he's saying. Declaring victory again, or tariffs, whatever. Like you'll be able to sell your stocks if your companies that you're invested in are about to get tariffed. It's like it's such a. The fact that the corruption is so out in the open and accepted. Like I said, shit should be on fire in this country. This country is filled with a bunch of spineless pussies. I said the very fact that they're sitting, and plus they're shooting people in the streets and then lying about it. How many times have they said they shot these people because they weaponized their vehicle, and then how many times has it been shown that they didn't weaponize their vehicle? They just got shot. They shot that kid in Maine through the side of the window. Then this is how shitbag the right wing media is he shot that kid through the passenger window, and then the bullets went out the front, the windshield. Then they show the picture of the windshield and go, oh, he shot him from the front of the car. Like, no, he didn't shoot him from the front of the car. The bullets went out the window. He shot him from the passenger side window like 3 or 4 times. Stan says, I'm disabled and I pay $550 a month for my medication and Medicare a month. I can't get SNAP or medical assistance. See, that's what sucks. And if you do, then they put these other restrictions on you where, like, you can't work. My friend was in that bind of, like, he was on disability, but to get his disability check, which kept him barely at poverty level, you know what I'm saying? Like just barely enough to live. And then he got SNAP, so he had SNAP so he could get food, but then he wasn't allowed to work or make any money. So if he wanted to get a job, he had to find a job that they under the table job, so they didn't know that he was working. Because if he made a certain amount of money, they'd cut all his shit off. And they always say, oh, we want to get these people, off of there. What they do is they put you in a bind where you're stuck. You have to stay poor or hustle, like I said, on the side. Stan says, I had Crohn's and I had to borrow $10,000 for treatments. Yeah, see, that sucks. That's what I mean. And and then you say that we should have universal health care so you wouldn't have to do that. And people go, you're a communist. These people in this country are brainwashed. As I said, bootlickers. They somehow believe that story, that if we keep everything the way it is, that if you worked really hard, you could become one of these fucking guys, and then really, if you ever look at any of these fucking guys, they had money. There's not very many stories you hear anymore of, maybe Jelly Roll. Of a guy who is really a gutter guy, he's really, and he worked his way into whatever he is, like he's a genuine story like that, because I said he played at the fucking club that I ran years ago. And he was not what he is now. He was like a trailer park rapper, juggalo, It's like Stan says he sold his house so he didn't lose it. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. And that's the American dream, Stan. That's what they try to tell you. Meanwhile, like I said, do you see a path to anything getting better? That's what I'm saying. We're going down this dark hole. And I watch this shit every single day. And I have yet to see one thing that's like, okay, here's a good sign. You know, that, that things are going to turn around. It's like, as long as this war is looming over and the Strait of Hormuz is closed, I said, we're still going down this roller coaster into God knows what. Because he was right about the economic disaster that's going to happen. Everybody's been using reserves, and like I said, our reserves are almost out, pretty much out. And for when I was reading, like, pretty much done. It's like, so however long that takes. And then he's talking about bombing more and more, and they were already saying he was running out of munitions, so what's he doing? It seems to me, like I said, the Houthis opened up another front. And it seems to me like maybe Iran and them want him to keep shooting these weapons because the more and more he depletes the weapons, the weaker and weaker the United States military really is. Sooner or later, they're going to cross the threshold where, like, we couldn't help Taiwan if China went there. And the whole... I don't want to be a fucking doomsayer or pessimist, but it's like, you know, World War III is, all the seeds are there, you know, like, we're still not even talking about Israel. Israel been rather quiet, except for protesting that Saudi nuclear deal. And what's that all about? Need to give Saudi Arabia nuclear weapons? Or, I mean, the ability to enrich uranium and then trust that they won't build a nuclear weapon? It's insane, really. It's like, to think that the foreign policy of the United States in relation to the rest of the world is being run by these bumbling fucking idiots that don't know anything about anything. You can tell that Trump doesn't understand cause and effect. And if you don't understand cause and effect, you're fucked to begin with in situations like this. Yeah, Standerco. Trump sold America to the Saudi Arabian prince, right? Mohammed bin Bonesaw, what I call him. I'd say. Remember that? He cut up that... Blue Paw says, my bad, I had to go for a bit. My manager came in while I was commenting. What are you doing? Are you watching a YouTube show? Like, yes, sir. I'm sorry. Oh, well. It happens. I fucking work at a desk a lot, so I keep my phone on the desk thing, and then sometimes I'll turn something on. I'll just set it up, and then I'm still doing my work, but I'm listening or watching something. No one's ever really saying anything about it. I get my work done, so yeah, I caught you slacking, Blue Apollo. You know, hey, whatever. They deserve slack. These fucking wages they pay. It's like my place. They fucking started laying off a bunch, or, you know, I wouldn't say laying off a bunch of people, but like some people left and they decided that they weren't going to replace them. And they started talking about shit like, well, everybody here, you know, we're getting a little thin. And they're like, well, everybody here should learn to do more than one job and do 2 or 3 jobs. You know, and I'm going, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, I can do every job in this fucking place because I can. I've been in the business for a long fucking time. I'm like, I could do any job in this store, including running the fucking store. It's like, but are you paying me to do that? No. It's like, you gonna pay me enough for another job? To do another job, like be expected to absorb that into my daily duties, you're gonna have to pay. Like, several dollars more an hour. Or I will continue to do my job at a high ability, and that's all you're getting out of me, because that's all you're paying for. Ken Capman says the next attack might be a Saudi free radical. Well, that's another one. Standard Echo says, take care. I have to go do medication. Keep fighting these problems. Yeah, man, take care of yourself. Please come back. Like the channels. Please subscribe to the show if you haven't done it already. Thanks for hanging out. Blue Apollo says, my wage should be a couple bucks higher than it is for the work I'm doing. Everyone should. This company bought the store. They're restructured everything. They called it a restructuring. And then they changed everybody's job titles, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But they also changed the pay scale for the people getting hired in. It's shit. It's so low that people don't even want to take the fucking job, Which is, so they're having trouble finding people to work, And then they go, oh, people don't want to work. It's like, oh, because they ain't paying. I'm sure they try to get a plan to try to get rid of some of us who actually make money, For me, it was different because I worked for them before. So I had already made a certain amount of money. It was like, okay, I'm not going to be a manager anymore, so I'll take a little bit less. But you're going to pay me close to what I was making before. I'm not fucking, I got years and years and years of experience. You can't just hire someone like me off the street. I can do all kinds of things outside the scope of my job title. If necessary, in the event of emergency. I'm a good person to have around, I'm a good problem solver too, and fix problems. As I've been around, I said, for years and years and years, I've seen every kind of thing that can happen in a store, a retail environment. I spent a lot of years working to get out of that, and I was out of it for a long time. And I said, and it was like, well, if I'm going back, I'm not going back for fucking, I said, shit pay. But that's the problem. I said, they keep saying, oh, America's doing great and the rich and this, the rich are doing great. Stock market's doing pretty good. But everything else, shit, bro. Blue Pop says, if you remember the Fox interview, the lady pressed him really good on the H-1B issue. What do you mean? I think the very fact that this explosive diarrhea is just going all over these states and they can't even tell you what the fuck is going on should tell you. Like, this administration is incompetent from top to bottom. All it is a bunch of pathetic nutlickers and internet trolls. It's like, it's like the Spencer Pratt guy. He's the new conservative hero, Spencer Pratt. Who the fuck is Spencer Pratt? He's a guy who's never even had a job. He's never done anything except be on TV. A reality TV star. They're like, oh, he's the new hero of the Republican Party. Mike was like, why? And what do you think is going to happen if your party is filled with fucking jerk-offs like this? Vapid fucks whose brains don't even work, don't know anything about anything. It's going to wreck the world, bro. Blue Pop mother message didn't go through, but Trump said in that interview that Americans are lazy and don't want to work. He said there's no talent here. Yeah, that's why they got to get like I said, that's why they got to recruit with those visas. That's what it was. I thought I was confused that you were talking about health shit. Yeah, the H-1B visa, that's for fucking scientists and shit like that. But see, it's also Blue Apollo because they gutted the education system. Like I said, you heard Pete Hegseth talking, right? Earlier when I was playing it. Pete Hegseth has degrees from Harvard and Princeton. He's a fucking idiot. Which proves to you that in America, you just pay for these degrees. All these guys are pampered fucks who are born from rich people and have never done anything in their fucking lives except for, I mean, look at the whole cabinet. Or they're pathetic nutlickers like Marco Rubio who switched over. And even Marco Rubio, I don't think he came from nothing, Like Mark Wade Mullen, like, right? He inherits his dad's plumbing business. somehow gets elected to the Senate because he's a Trump nutlicker, right? He never did anything but be a plumber. He's in the Senate and he says dumb shit there all the time. And then he's promoted to Homeland Security Secretary. The guy's a plumber. He doesn't have any experience with the law or fucking being a fucking warden of a prison or running fucking cops. It's like he doesn't know shit about anything. He's just a nutlicker who will do what he's told. You push him out there at the podium and he lick Trump's balls all day. Threaten to do illegal shit that he's not allowed to do. Because he doesn't know what he's allowed to do, what he's not allowed to do. Because he's not an expert in the field. None of these people are. Kennedy's not a doctor. He's in charge of health. Why do you think the measles is at 30-year high? The measles came back from nowhere. We're going to get polio next. Blue Paw says, well, that's like the dumb, arrogant, rich kid trope. These people are institutions in themselves or just there to lay out bullshit talking points. Right, exactly. They're just yes men. They're groomed. And J.D. Vance, that's all he is. That's all J.D. Vance is. He's a creature of, he never did anything in his life except suck up to as many people as he could until he met Peter Thiel. And then Peter Thiel was like, oh yeah, I can make some out of this guy. That's not true, Blue Apollo. There are people out there who are real people, like AOC, she's a real person. Warnock from Georgia, he's a preacher from a church. I don't think he was groomed up to do anything. I don't know, like I said, where John Ossoff came from, but John Ossoff is like the Terminator, bro. I've seen him. He was hammering that intelligence guy, too. He kept asking him, who won the 2020 election? And then, same thing. He was like, so you're telling me that you won't answer the question? You know, you won't answer the question? He just kept saying it. And he's got this fucking steely way of, he looks like I said, like a killer. Like, I really like him and his ideas and all that shit. Blue Paw says, I'd love to motorboat AOC. There was a poll that said she was like way up there if she wanted to run for president. It was like, I don't think she could get elected, but I mean, I really don't know. Like I said, the only way to get out of this situation is for, like I said, for conservatives and Republicans, some, to just abandon their, allegiance and vote for Democrats to get these nutlickers out. Because as long as these nutlickers are there, the Congress is going to be gummed up and ain't going to do shit. They ain't going to stop Trump from doing shit. I mean, at this point, there's a year and a half left. Like, we're halfway through. So, it's like, or a little more than halfway through. There's a year and a half left. And it's like, part of me is just like, hold on. There's no way to know what's going to happen. Julia says AOC does have a nice rack. No, that's blue policy. This is why the Democratic Party is having an existential crisis in of itself, is because some of these people, blue policy, say with Nancy. Nancy's old now, though, man. I mean, and Hillary. You talk about like in their prime, cougar prime, 10, 15 years ago, maybe. Nancy Pelosi is an old woman now. What do they call that? When they she passed the cougar time. She's like a puma, or I forget what they call the extra olds. There's a name for that too. I'm not saying you're nasty. Every dude like what they like. Like I said, they're a little old now. You want to talk about a few years ago? I never found Hillary Clinton attractive, personally, myself. Maybe Nancy, like I said, 15, 20 years ago. AOC's hotter than them. I never had much crushes on any politicians too much. More like the reporters. Like, I haven't seen her for a long time. I used to be loving Hallie Jackson. I watch Hallie Jackson's show every day. Blue Paws is a saber tooth. Joy says Jasmine Crockett's pretty attractive as well. Yeah, saber tooth. Is that what they call him? Did you look it up? Say, she's like 80s. Like, Blue Paws be trolling around like old folks' homes and nursing homes. I like to feed her pudding. He's like, Jello and pudding. It's my thing. All right, I gotta get out of here. Once again, I always feel like I should have some big wrap up, something to say, but it's always just kind of like, yeah, well, I've been talking for over an hour now, and I don't know what's gonna happen. But like I said, there clearly is no plan. There clearly is no, and they clearly have no plan to try to stop this from happening. And they're going to try to tell you that if you don't give them the $1.5 trillion. Julia says, how about older women who have dentures? Gummo, they call them. You ever see that movie? It's most definitely one of the strangest movies of all time. Gummo's even weirder than Eraserhead. And that's pretty fucking weird. Like, it's like I think at a certain age, once you cross like into like they're like in the 60s or over, there's always a chance that they're there's always a chance that they'd have dentures. When I was younger, I used to like when I was in my 20s, I used to like chicks who were like 40s, because like I said that usually they were divorced or some shit, and then they didn't want a boyfriend. They just want someone to come over and take care of them. They expect you to like be committed to them or anything like that. They didn't even ask you what you were doing when you weren't around. Like, they just call me like, you want to come over? Yeah, yep. And he was saying, that's how I got away with for years and years and years not really having a girlfriend. It's like, I didn't have a girlfriend for a long time. So there's like several fucking older women would just call you whenever. Blue Paul says, yeah, I like him a little bit older. Cameron Diaz, my celebrity crush. Even now? Have you seen what she did to herself? I don't know, man. And said, all that plastic surgery freaks me out. I can't. I like chicks that look, I'd rather a woman age gracefully than carve up her face. I don't. Julia says, just come over, service me, then leave. Yeah, exactly. I used to drink and party. I used to be fucking party all the time. I had girls who I'd say I'd be drunk and bar would be at the close. I'd call them up like, hey, how you doing? To come over and hang out. She'd be like, come on over. But like I said, this is when I was young. The world was different, Blue Apollo. Everybody wasn't sitting around staring at their phone and reading propaganda. Being told that women should fucking stop voting and get back in the kitchen. That's what I mean. I can't believe this whole movement of young men that actually think that by telling women that they should shut the fuck up and get back in the kitchen and cook food and have babies, and that they think that that's gonna get them some pussy. You tell your woman she can't vote. You're like, what's the fucking problem here? Like, there's all kinds of problems. It's like, I'll tell you this much: she ain't gonna blow you once you tell her that you don't think she can vote. It's like, you might as well forget that shit. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. Please, if you've just found me today, I said I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. I'm going to send me a private messages, Bruce Leonard Leans Left at Outlook.com. If you haven't done so, please like the channel, subscribe to the show if you like this show. Tell your friends, share it on your social media. I have a Patreon. It's Bruce Leonard Comedy. Like I said, I don't beg for money, but if you'd like to sponsor the show, I will take the money. Anyway, please go out, enjoy your weekend, be safe. If you love somebody, tell them. You never know when it's the last time and you won't be able to. Thank you for hanging out. It's good to see you again, Blue Apollo. Again, if you want to talk to me, Blue Apollo, send me an email. Bruce Leonard Leans Left at Outlook.com. Please enjoy your weekend and be safe. Thank you very much. Good night.
Until that day, I'll leave my eyes shut tight. I do not want to pick a fight. I feel more at night. Wait another day.